On this episode of China Uncensored, North Korea is gonna kill us all! Hi, welcome to China Uncensored. I'm your host, Chris Chappell. Well, we've had a good run, humanity. We made it through that whole Cold War thing, and for a while it looked like we were out of the woods. But there's one thing we never counted on. This guy. Kim Jong-Un, also known as the sexiest man alive. They got that story from The Onion. North Korea is calling sanctions against it an act of war by the United States, and earlier today promised they would launch a preemptive nuclear strike, turning the United States and South Korea into a sea of fire. You know, faced with the threat of nuclear annihilation, I'm kind of second-guessing if all those hours on Facebook and looking at pictures of cats was a good use of my life. North Korea detonated a nuclear device in February, and the UN Security Council has finally figured out what to do. It's not the same old slapping on new sanctions that don't really affect the ruling elite. This time, they're just making the old sanctions actually work. After 3 weeks of negotiations between the US and China, the UN Security Council voted on a resolution that blocks imports of luxury goods. The old sanctions were supposed to do that, but since they never actually defined what counts as a luxury good, it was pretty much worthless. Sorry, Kim, no new horses for you. IKEA's already bought them all up for their meatballs anyways. So if everything works, it should now be next to impossible for North Korea to fund its nuclear program. But it all depends on if the Chinese Communist Party, as North Korea's only major ally, actually helps enforce the embargo. So the only thing standing between us and nuclear annihilation are these guys. At this point, I would just like to say all those critical things I've said about the Communist Party, I was just joking around. She's the man. Now, most analysts say the possibility of an actual nuclear assault by North Korea is slim to nil. But earlier this week, North Korea called off the armistice with South Korea, basically the ceasefire that ended the Korean War. So some South Korean officials are worried some kind of armed conflict could break out to test South Korea's new female president, Park Geun-hye. Experts think it could look something like this. But don't worry, between us and the darkness comes a hero, a brave and valiant paladin capable of looking in the face of evil and laughing. Okay, we're screwed. So what do you think? Email me at ChinaUncensored@NTDTV.com, or you can follow China Uncensored on Twitter or like it on Facebook. Please comment below, and as always, subscribe for more new episodes of China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.